Hey, so I had this idea that, when I healed something, when I gave up that habit or fixed that thing, that my life would look peaceful, right? Candles, mantras, perfect meditation posture. But it turns out that spirituality looks more like crying on the bathroom floor and then laughing about it 5 minutes later. This just in, being human is messy. It's true. And the universe doesn't expect us to color in the lines, but really just to be ourselves, right? It just wants us to feel. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Walking the Path. Today, we're diving into the holy mess. I'm calling it the holy mess. It's the art of feeling without fixing and the miracle that happens when we stop running from our emotions. Welcome to Walking the Path. I'm so glad you're here. And before I talk about Walking the Path, I want to talk about rythmia. I'm amazed. Almost completed 8 years into my 9th year at rythmia, teaching, facilitating classes, witnessing people's transformation. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary, 10 years, amazing. And tonight I'm doing a webinar with Dr. Jeff at 6 o'clock Central. That's 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. So come check out the webinar. And what we're talking about is the miracle that happens at rythmia. When people come and see who they've become and merge with their soul, come back to a state of wholeness. It's from that wholeness that we actually heal. It's from the wholeness that we actually can repair and heal things, not from our brokenness. This happens every week at rythmia. So I want to encourage you to check out rythmia and come see us. I'd love to see you here. So into Walking the Path. Today, our topic is the holy mess. And man, it's a perfect time for this topic because I'm in the middle of my own holy mess right now. You know, it's something very human, very tender, very real, something that is a mess, but it's holy. I use the word holy intentionally because the truth is that the messy parts of our experience aren't signs that we're broken, aren't signs that we're behind, aren't signs that we should be further along, but they're actually moments that bring us closest to the truth. Healing isn't linear. No matter how long you've been on the spiritual path, we all have moments where the emotional weather shifts. You know what I mean? It shifts without our permission, and old pattern surfaces, old stories get flared up, emotions get loud. And there's a part of me that thinks, wait, I should be past this by now. I didn't I already heal this? But actually, this is the doorway, not the detour. I'm in the middle of my holy mess right now. Old patterns showing up, like ping-ponging between the new insight and the old way of being, back and forth, And I wanted to share this because, people think, or I felt the pressure. I feel the pressure that if I'm putting myself out there as a spiritual guide, as a spiritual therapist, as a facilitator, I should have all the answers, right? I should have this figured out by now. But the emotional body doesn't really care about how enlightened I think I am, right? It doesn't care about the roles or the performance. It doesn't care about timelines. It cares about the truth. The emotional body, our inner child, our emotional life. It cares about the truth. And when we finally feel safe enough to speak, when the emotional body finally feels safe enough to actually speak its truth, it generally isn't a whisper. It generally isn't meek. It cries, it shakes, it erupts, right? And the eruption is the holy mess. And it's not the problem. That's the thing. If you're in the middle of a holy mess right now, it's not a problem. It's the moment when our emotional body actually says, I am tired of being exiled. I'm not going to be abandoned for another day. I need you to feel me, and you're going to feel it now. That's what's going on in the holy mess. And I want to anchor something here very clearly, that the holy mess is not the part where we have everything figured out, right? It's the part where I stop pretending. I stopped performing being strong, being the spiritual one, being the healed one, and finally let that tender, conflicted, negative, overwhelmed part come to light. You know, I can't fix my way through this mess. I have to feel my way through it. And feeling is the bridge home, you know? And this is when insight meets emotion. I noticed this last week that my mind might have known the truth, but my body didn't feel it yet. You know that space in between where you had the insight, right? There's a gap between understanding and embodiment. And that's integration. That's where the holy mess shows up. When you've got the insight, but it hasn't been embodied, the body hasn't really anchored it yet. That gap is messy. And it's not a mistake, it's actually integration. And this week, I kind of stopped bypassing that mess and started blessing it, to honor what's real. Because every emotion arises and has something true to say. It has something to say that's true. Even if the story attached to it isn't true, the feeling is honest. And Dorota just said it's about authenticity. Absolutely. So th- I realized I don't heal by correcting myself. I heal by connecting with myself. And the part that feels the most chaotic or the most conflicted is often the part that's been waiting the longest to be loved. And this is the holy mess. And this is where we are, where I am right now, right? In this space of not fighting the low. Because part of the performance of spirituality is, well, I should be feeling perfect. I should be feeling better. I've healed this. I've been through, I've done so much work, right? I shouldn't be going through this. But that's the moment where it's like, there's nothing wrong with the low. There's nothing wrong with being right here. And I don't have to do anything to get out of it. But really, it's about connecting with that part of me. Thank you so much, Print Shop Gal. I appreciate you. It's being in that space, and like all those parts that feel messy, the parts that are in conflict, that's really our shadow. And hey, sister, you're going through a breakup. Yes, yes, yes. That really, right? Relationships are like the sacred mirror that reflects the areas within us that are seeking to be healed, right? So the breakup, wow, I know it's not fun. But that holy mess, there's something really powerful in there, because all those old patterns are coming up and resurfacing, and there's nothing wrong with them, right? It's like I did some shadow work yesterday. And it was like all the things that I'm like, the habit that came back, and the old patterns that came back. And it's like, whoa, where does this come from? I thought I healed all this. And New Schemo is also going through a breakup. Yeah. So as this is happening, and you're feeling all the feelings, right? The desire sometimes is to get out of it. I shouldn't be feeling this way. What can I do to shift this? Let me pull myself up, dust myself off, start all over again. All great things to do. But before we do any of that, it's to allow ourselves to connect with actually the messiness, the feeling, the sadness. And what I noticed in the shadow work that I did yesterday is, as I sort of took all the things that I was like, why is this thing this habit, this pattern, why is this stuff coming back? I want to shift this. And so I took all those things and I sort of put them into a shadow. Like I constellated the shadow. And so there I was in my like visioning, right? Sitting there, meditating, all the things that I was down on myself for having resurfaced. And there was my shadow, right? All those parts, all the things that I didn't like, that I wanted to correct, that I felt were bad. And I just sat there and started to connect with my shadow. And you know what I did? I beat the crap out of it. I literally beat the crap out of it. I was like, whoa, holy moly. Because, that's the part that just needs, that it needs to be connected with, it needs to be loved. And it's just doing what it knows how to do. Doing what it knows best how to do is to protect me. But the way that it learned how to protect me was from 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. When we were all at the height of our critical thinking skills, the most evolved. And so it's like taking that part tenderly and being like, I get you, man. I know why you're doing that. I know why that pattern emerged. I know why that old habit came back, right? Oh, that's you. Just look how sweet you are, trying to cover up that feeling because you're afraid you don't want to feel it. It's okay. It's okay. But you know what? Here's what we're going to do now. Just kind of talking to myself in that way. Right now, I'm just being present with the mess, being present with the holy mess. And here's the thing. Here's what I know. That those times for each of us, the breakups that we're going through, and yes, love this communication between you two, talking about sending each other love. We're sending you love as well. And I know you're sending me love. And Dorota, who experienced a massive burnout this September, all the same piece, burnout, breakup. It's all the parts of us, the burnout comes from the performing parts that believe we need to perform in order to earn and prove our worth and value. Never prove it enough. That's that core wound again. I need to work. I need to prove. I need to do in order to be, instead of be in order to do. So what I know about the mess, what I know about the holy mess, it's holy because this is where actually something wonderful is happening in this holy mess. Something wonderful is happening. All sorts of things are occurring behind the scenes so that I can spring forward. And if you think about it, you have to have winter in order to have spring. You can't just have winter, or you can't just have spring. You got to have winter in order to have spring. You got to have a dark night in order to have a dawn. That's the way it works in nature. I don't know why, but winter comes before spring. You got to have that before. You got to have the dark time, the time when everything gets cold, when things get closed in order to spring forth. Important things happen in the winter. Important things happen in the holy mess. So can we be fucking amen, brother? I love it. I love it. So can I be okay with this? Can we be okay? Can we be okay with where we are in the breakup, where we are in the burnout, where we are in our transformation? Healing isn't linear, it's spiral. And so I'm spiraling around to, from a new perspective, same material, new perspective, but I'm so much more expanded. You're so much more expanded. There's nothing wrong, nothing to fix, just to connect. Nothing to correct, only to connect. Nothing to correct, only to connect. Connect with that feeling. This is the miracle that happens when we actually allow ourselves to feel all the stuff that we don't want to feel. So, I think that's it today. Here's the thing I might offer for you this week. When you notice this stuff come up, pause and ask yourself, what emotion am I resisting right now? And then once you identify the emotion, just say, you're welcome here. That's it. What am I resisting? You're welcome here. Welcome yourself. Welcome back all the parts that we've exiled because they don't fit into the spiritual one, the healed one, the strong one, the fixer, right? Welcome all those parts back. The parts that we've exiled because they didn't look spiritual enough. They didn't look evolved enough. They didn't look real enough. They didn't look mature enough. Whatever it was, you're welcome here. Welcome yourself home. Welcome all those parts back. That's all there is to do. What emotion am I resisting? You're welcome here. Welcome home. Thank you so much. Um, this is being recorded. It'll be posted on my Instagram. It'll be posted on the Instagram. You can come back and listen to it again and again. Thank you, sister. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone who joined us today. Um, so much love. So much love for ourselves. Just take a minute and hug yourself and say, you're welcome. You're welcome here. All of you is welcome here. Welcome home. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Per. Great to see you, brother. Love you all. Peace and blessings.